but we'll get them next game.
Going into this game, the Smith brothers, number one sack total for any tandem in the NFL. Number one pressure rate for any tandem in the NFL. Number one QB hit rate of any tandem in the NFL going into this game. Now, I know they didn't have a great game again, but again, their offense kind of put them in a situation, and for whatever reason, honestly, that offense, had it been not Gruden, it would have been out of run mode. They wasted a whole third quarter of that game because they just decided they were still going to run the ball when they were down by 18 points. That was, you can tell me whatever, but that was a just dumbass coaching move by John Gruden. That only helped the Packers when they were just, Josh Jacobs can get over 100 yards, but you ate up 6 minutes of clock you couldn't afford to eat up. So, but again, they didn't overpay. Let's stop with that. And Amos is doing just fine back there. What he is missing is his other Eddie Jackson.
2 passes defended today.
Well,
and I thought he couldn't cover guys.
Too, but
no.
He's missing his other half that helps him. Well, the plays,
Will Redmond gave up plays.
I know.
Amos, anytime he was on coverage, he knocked that ball down or was fighting for it. And I'm sorry, I was told by Bears fans he couldn't cover, he couldn't play the free safety spot. The guy has, I think, 5 or 6 passes defended this year already. And supposedly he's not a covered safety. That's what we were told, Ryan. I mean, I know you probably were. We signed a guy who can't cover, but yeah, he's covering.
No, he had. I think he had 1 or 2 today too.
He had 2 pass deflection. 2 passes defended, and the tipped ball to King in the end zone.
Yeah,
that was it.
There we go.
So, and Billy Turner, he finally. So my thing was with him. He finally settled down. He learned the playbook because at Denver, it was a whole nother playbook he had to learn for run blocking. LaFleur, he had to learn zone scheme, outside and inside. He has learned it. He is nasty at it, and he is getting better at pass blocking each week.
Yeah, you're not hearing his name much, which is always a good thing as a lineman. So
Rodgers had a few plays today where he was just out. He had forever back there. I mean,
he was relaxing.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen. Again, I referenced this earlier. We said this was going to happen once Jenkins got in there, and they had a few weeks to get together because the more an offensive line 5 play together, the more cohesive and better they get. And we said that eventually you were going to see this line be the line like in the 2015 or the 2016 playoff game in the Giants, where I believe 3 times in that game he had 12 seconds to throw. Yeah, That's what they were trying to build again, because then you just control the game. When you give Aaron Rodgers that amount of time, you have no chance. None.
Plus that play action was working.
It's over.
He had time to go shopping. I mean, go get a new couple suits, go ahead and go out on a date with Danica, and come back and still throw a 60-yard bomb to MVS.
And just quickly, Ryan, as an aside here, can I just mention that I know these announcers say it a lot, but very few times does Tony Romo make these comments. There was a lot of times he was saying, yeah, that's a throw that even Pat Mahomes can't make. Only Aaron Rodgers could make that throw like that. I love Mahomes, okay? He's the next. He's going to be the next greatest thing since sliced bread here, but it's another one of these kind of. It's even worse than Brady because Brady had a lot of love still. It was a little fewer. This idea that anybody is going to surpass Aaron Rodgers right now, over the next few years, if he's healthy, it's kind of asinine. As long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy and playing for the next 4 or 5 years, he's still the best in the league. He still can do everything that everybody else can do at a better clip than what they can do it. He's still the one that created the plays that the Mahomes and such copy and only emulate, but are not the originators of. So I think that's being made clear here over the last
I
few
mean,
weeks too.
I think after today, I feel like today was a big. I feel like it was a big milestone in the maturation of Aaron Rodgers within this offense. Being able to play within the offense and still put up the numbers that he did, 5 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 429 yards, high completion percentage, perfect passer rating. First time ever. I think today was a huge milestone.
First time in Packers history, too, with Starr and Favre.
That's right. I think today was a huge milestone for him. Just as now, it's like, okay, what you've been telling me about this offense for the entire, since you got hired as the new coach, it happened. This was the first time it really happened that way. He put up some yards against Philly, but he didn't have these types of numbers. And I think he sees now Rodgers being what this can be. And I think it's only going to make him trust LaFleur more and buy in even more. Not that he hasn't, but I think that it really helps cement that. And I think today was a big day for that. And if he continues to play this way, then, yeah, you are correct in terms of Mahomes. He won't be able to dethrone Rodgers. Because if Rodgers is playing like this, like, that's putting up ungodly numbers, for a while, So,
well, to your point about him, not that he doesn't trust him now, but I think the point I want to jump off of that point with you, Ryan, is what this does when he gets this comfortable and buys in even more, it gives LaFleur the ability to make suggestions that maybe he's not so sure somebody else could. He can pull shit out of his bag that, like, since I was 12, I thought about this play, but I wouldn't be comfortable doing this if I had Tim Boyle quarterback. I'm gonna go to Rodgers. And so they can come up with all kinds of goofy shit, and Aaron can look at it, and maybe he normally would be like, that ain't going to. But because other things have worked, he's going to be able to. And so who knows? It really gives LaFleur the ability to really just unload the bag of ideas and tricks and to figure out what works. It gives him an unlimitless ability. It almost is like Rodgers is writing him a blank check, so to speak, like with trust. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that can be a dangerous thing because that type of relationship breeds a lot of fun. And what you don't want is Aaron Rodgers being efficient and having fun. That's the most dangerous Aaron Rodgers the league is ever going to see. That's why he won a Super Bowl. Because it was fun for him to play in that offense back then.
Did y'all see the post-game conference, or the post-game locker room talk by Matt LaFleur?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry, I busted out laughing at the end when he's sitting there and goes, this ball goes to the man with the only Packer perfect passer rating in Packer history, Aaron Rodgers. He had 5 touchdowns, and the old man even run for one. And that's how I can tell their relationship has blossomed to a whole new level. Because when he's making fun of Rodgers for being basically just an old fart, it's there.
Yeah,
they're at that comfort level now, and where you can sit there and throw jousts like that at each other. It's in that next stage of them working together, and it's really fun to see. Also, I pulled up some Ryan Grant stats. So is last year in Washington, Ryan, this was him playing 92% out of the slot. He had 45 catches for 573 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 29 first downs out of the slot.
There you go.
It just adds a whole nother element because I love Geronimo as a player. I've tried backing him. But Jay has heard me renounce his name a couple times this season because especially like the Lions game before he got hurt and the week before that, God, he was dropping so many passes.
You haven't renounced him, Dave. You've just finally admitted that what I said about him was
right on
true.
But Ryan Grant, if he replaces him as a slot receiver in this offense, it just adds that whole nother element.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading it. 29 first downs in the slot. Are you kidding me?
That tells you a lot. tells you a lot about his ability, and then how the quarterbacks, trusted him on third down.
His catch percentage was 78% that year too.
Yeah, no, he's got some ability. He really does. I think within this offense specifically, I think he's got a spot. I just do. I think he's different from the other receivers, and we're lacking the type of
body type, quickness,
that type of receiver. And that once we traded, Trevor Davis, so I like it. I'm just excited to see. I hope we get to see it. I hope it wasn't just a signing, just to be an emergency signing, because we didn't know if guys were going to be healthy enough to play. And then when everyone's healthy, he's back on the street. Because I really think that he could add a little bit something different to this offense.
Well, okay, I'm going to move on. And I know you're the host, but I got to ask, Ryan, who is your top 3 or top 5 people that stood out to you from the game? I already know who one is. I mean,
quite obvious, right? Number one, obviously, is Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Jones was definitely up there just because of his versatility, catching passes, balls over the backfield. He put up solid overall numbers. Wasn't, the best game, but I like what I saw out there. He had some nice blitz pickups, so he picked up some nice blocking, which is good to see. Jimmy Graham actually looks pretty good. I got to give him credit. We're quick to rip him all the time, but you got to give him credit when it's necessary. And I thought he played well. He, like you pointed out earlier, I think that he actually, you see him blocking out there. He caught all of his balls, which that's big. He made a nice catch on the touchdown. I think he deserves some credit. It was so hard because they spread it around so much. I guess I don't have to always just go on offense, though.
It's exciting because they put up a 40 burger for the first time this season. So, yeah. It's the next evolution step in this offense. So, yeah, I get why you're excited.
As a unit, though, the offensive line, they played well as a unit. It's hard to really just signal, just one of those guys when I think as a unit, they should be praised. And then trying to go 5 here. I think just the young wide receivers as a group, I think they were getting pretty shredded online recently. And so I think that today was a big thing for them to step up. And I thought they all performed admirably. I mean, they all kind of did something, right? So Allison had some catches. Obviously, Kumaro with a nice touchdown. Lazard with a ridiculous catch. MVS obviously only had 2 catches, but 130-some yards and a touchdown. Shaw, You got to see that speed. You got to see the play action, the first play of the second half. That's the exact same type of, kept playing that they would always do with Jordan Nelson. So you got to see that actually work. They've been trying to do it for all season. I feel like Rodgers still underestimates his speed because he was slightly underthrown, but it's whatever. It worked. So
I think he gets used to it down the road later in the season because that 4.3 speed, man, is hard to judge.
Yeah, because he's definitely faster than Jordy. Jordy was no slouch, though. Jordy was a track star in high school.
Yeah, Jordy had straight line speed, but MVS can literally cut back on a dime at the same speed. That's the difference. Is MVS has that natural speed, like 100% go at any angle, anything. Like that flat route today, perfect example. Caught it, turned, and just went, and he was gone.
Yep. So I was just proud. I was proud of those guys for all contributing today, the younger wide receivers, because they definitely been taking some heat, especially, when they see that the organization is going out and signing a free agent at wide receiver, then it's kind of, telling them, hey, we're not quite satisfied with your production. We're going to go out of the organization to sign someone who hasn't been here through the entire training camp, who hasn't been here for the first 6 games of the year. And that's putting everyone on notice, and I think it worked because they definitely all stepped to their game up today. I thought pretty well. So you got to give them credit. If we're gonna rip them all week, or for several weeks, then you got to give them credit when they perform. So, whether that's the light bulb moment for some of those players